So I just recently did a reaction video on Ant-Man Quantumania, and even though that video didn't get a lot of views for whatever odd reason, I don't know why it got so suppressed by YouTube, or maybe people just don't like reaction videos. I have no idea. But the funny thing is, I just did a video praising it. I thought the trailer was very good. I thought they did a good job making people want to be excited for going to go see that movie. Even people who maybe hate Marvel and what they've been doing for Phase 4, I think it definitely has that old school Marvel feel in terms of the trailer that they released. Now, with that being said, now I have to keep it real. There is an article coming out about how Marvel Studios apparently is doing multiple reshoots for this particular movie, and the reason why is because they want to kind of throw in the typical trademark cheap laughs, kind of like things that MCU has been doing, especially in the Phase 4. And that's not something a lot of people want to see. Like, it seems like they're trying to I don't want to say wokeify, because it could not just be woke at all, but they're just trying to do their typical thing, and and it's weird because like the trailer didn't feel that way. It felt like they were trying to go away from that, and now it seems like they're doing reshoots to go back to that. So we're gonna get into the article, guys. This one comes from good old Bounding Into Comics. They got a lot of articles for us today. It says, rumor: Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania undergoing reshoots to include Marvel's now trademark cheap laughs. It says a new rumor claims that recently reported reshoots for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania are being done to insert Marvel's trademark cheap laughs and lame jokes into the film. Earlier this month, Paul Rudd was reportedly photographed on location in Los Angeles filming the reshoots. Fan site PaulRudd.com shared a couple of photos from the set showing Rudd carrying what appears to be a Baskin-Robbins box. Following this revelation, Andre, I can't say his last name, of Midnight's Edge reports that the reshoots are being undertaken to insert Marvel's trademark cheap jokes into the film. I really hope that's not the case, because to be honest with you, I would love to see a more serious Marvel movie, something that takes itself seriously. And I think the relationship between Ant-Man and Kang could be a good one. I think it could be more of a personal one, right? So I like I mentioned in my reaction video, Ant-Man very clearly is trying to make a deal with Kang, or vice versa, and it has to do with his daughter. It could be a very serious subject, and something that obviously you don't mess with a man's daughter. Now, it could be something that could be very serious, and if they start doing this jokey joke stuff and takes you out of it, I really hope they didn't do that. But if they do, that's what's gonna kind of mess up the movie for me a little bit, right? So like, there's nothing wrong with jokes. There's a time and place for it. But when you're trying to tell a serious story, come on, man. You got to stop. You got to stop eventually. They report, for all its virtues, the Marvel executives did allegedly have one problem with the cut Peyton Reed delivered. Apparently, it deviated too much from the Marvel formula. That is to say, it had a compelling story and narrative structure that would keep fans engaged. But what it apparently didn't have was enough jokes, laughs, and trademark Marvel lightheartedness. He continues that then, this is what the reshoots reportedly were aimed at doing: add jokes and cheap laughs into a by default serious movie with heavy themes in order to make it more lighthearted and fun for the masses. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We want something more serious. We want something that takes itself more seriously. Like, why do you need to have everything be a joke? I don't understand. I know they're trying to aim for the kid audience. I get it. They're trying to aim for the younger audience. But come on, man. Like, the people who grew up on the comic books, the people who grew up on even the MCU. The MCU's been out for over a decade. So, like, clearly people grew up with it. So they're not going to be the young kids anymore. Why are you not trying to adhere to them? Why are you constantly trying to adhere to the younger crowd? I just don't get it, especially with a movie that has such a serious tone that most of these younger people can't understand anyway to begin with. It says, while Rudd was reportedly photographed performing the reshoots on January 6th, they claimed that the reshoots have actually been taking place for a number of weeks already on a closed soundstage. He notes the reshoots to this end were independently documented on January 6th, as that is when they filmed on location, but apparently the reshoots to, Marvel Up the Movie has been going on a closed soundstage for weeks already. As he closed out the video, he also provided the opinion of his source on whether the reshoots have improved the film. In the opinion of our source, no, the studio-approved release version is still far better than most Marvel movies released in the last few years, but forcing cheap laughs into what was originally a somber tale allegedly caused some jarring tonal shifts which were quite detrimental to the director Peyton Reed's original vision, he relayed. He then asserted the movie's going public will never know, of course, but the version they will be seeing in theaters come February 17th is apparently a cut made worse by studio meddling. And that's another problem too. Like, the studio gets a little bit too involved in themselves, right? They get a little bit too ahead of themselves, and they tend to forget. They're so reliant on the formula, right? They're so whether it's a win or a lose, I think they stick to their formula no matter what, because they feel like that's what works, and they don't want to deviate. They're too scared to deviate from their formula, and that's sad, because if they just deviate a little bit and they make it a little more serious, which they seem like they were doing, that could actually be a major big hit. It could resonate with a lot of the older fans. And I'm not even talking like super old fans. I'm talking like maybe late 20s, right? People who grew up on the MCU when they were in their teens, mid to late 20s. It could resonate with them. It really could. And it could bring a lot of people out who probably normally would have waited till it came out on streaming. Once the word of mouth gets around and about how different the movie feels and how different it is, people would actually want to go see it. That's the crazy thing. I would have went to go see this movie in theaters. I had full plans to go see it. Now I'm questioning it. I kind of want to see what the reviews are first before I go see it. It's terrible, man. It really is. Like they need to stop. They need to stop with their whole formula nonsense. I get it. That's what got them there in the first place. But the formula has just completely gone off the rails. It says the official description for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania reads: superhero partners Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne return to continue their adventures as Ant-Man and the Wasp, together with Hope's parents Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym and Scott's daughter Cassie Lang. The family finds himself exploring the quantum realm, interacting with strange new creatures, and embarking on an adventure that will push them beyond the limit of what they thought possible. The film, which Marvel is describing as a sci-fi adventure, arrives in theaters on February 17th. So listen, I'm not super hopeful for this. I really don't know what to think about it, honestly. Other than the fact that I just know their jokes are terrible. It's not anything that I'm like super excited to see. And now that I know that the previous iteration of this film was a more serious one, I'm kind of sad that I'm not able to see what that was. I hope they maybe do some sort of like director's cut, something along those lines, maybe in the future that I could probably check out because I would have loved to see the more serious version of this movie. But unfortunately, it seems like we're just going to get the typical Marvel tropes that everybody loves to hate on, and we're going to be here for it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought of today's story, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.